Before you even opened your eyes this morning, He already knew your name. Before you felt the weight of the day, He had already prepared the way. There is a truth the world tries to erase, but one that resonates deep in the heart of those who still dare to believe. You did not get here by accident. God chose you, not after you became better, not after you made yourself worthy. He chose you before you even existed. Jeremiah 1:5 is not just a Bible verse, it is a declaration over your life. And today, this morning, Our Lady invites you to stop, breathe, and listen to what heaven wants to say to your heart. This prayer was written for you, for the exact moment you find yourself in. Let it reach you. The silence that precedes the calling. There is a moment, just before dawn, when the world has not fully awakened yet. A suspended instant between night and day, between dream and reality, where everything feels almost too quiet. It is in that silence that God tends to speak. Perhaps you have felt it before, that strange sensation of waking in the middle of the night without knowing why, your heart faintly restless, your mind unable to shut off, a kind of weight that is not quite sadness, but is not quite peace either. You turn in bed, try to fall back asleep, but something you cannot name, keeps you awake. It is not a coincidence. It never was. God speaks in the silence because that is where we finally stop pretending. That is where the masks fall, where the distractions disappear, where the noise of the world no longer has room. And it is precisely in that place, the most vulnerable, most honest, most bare place that exists within you, that He chooses to appear. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Those words were not spoken to a polished hero. They were spoken to a man who believed he was too young, too incapable, too afraid. A man who looked at God's calling and said, "But I do not know how to speak. But I am not enough. But I am not ready." And God, with the patience of someone who already knows how the story ends, answered, "I knew you before. I chose you before." And that does not depend on what you think of yourself. You need to hear that today. It does not matter what your week looked like. It does not matter how many times you failed, how many times you drifted away, how many times you looked in the mirror and no longer recognized the person you wanted to be. God did not choose you based on your best version. He chose you in your most real version, the one you hide, the one you are ashamed to show, the one that cries behind closed doors, that doubts in the middle of the night, that sometimes no longer knows if it can keep going. It is that person He calls by name. The silence you feel is not abandonment. It is an invitation. It is God creating space so that you can finally hear what He has been trying to tell you for so long, because He does not give up. He knocks on the door of your heart not once, not twice, but as many times as it takes, with the patience of a father who knows his child will come back, who knows the right moment will arrive, and perhaps that moment is now. Think about it. How many times have you felt that inner calling and let it pass? How many times did the desire to pray rise up and you pushed it off until later? How many times did you feel that you needed to stop, breathe, reconnect, and the noise of the day swallowed you whole before you ever got the chance? God's calling does not disappear. It waits. But there is something sacred about answering today, about saying on this particular morning, with eyes still heavy and heart still soft from sleep, "Here I am, Lord. You may speak. I am listening." Our Lady understands this moment better than anyone. She had her own silence too. That instant when the angel appeared and the entire world seemed to stop, and she could have said no. She could have stepped back, asked for more time, demanded more certainty. But she knew something that so many people forget. When God calls, He has already provided everything you will need to answer. The silence that precedes the calling is not emptiness. It is preparation. It is God ordering things within you before moving things around you. It is Him aligning your heart, calming your spirit, making you fertile ground for what is about to come. And what is about to come is greater than you can imagine, because God does not call people toward the ordinary. He calls them toward what can only be explained by Him. So today, this morning, before anything else, before coffee, before your phone, before the notifications and the lists and the responsibilities that will try to pull you away from yourself, stop, breathe deeply, place your hand on your chest, and feel your heart beating. That heartbeat is proof that He is not finished with you yet. Good morning, Lord. Good morning, Our Lady. Here I am, chosen, called, and ready to listen. Our Lady intercedes for you today. There is something about a mother's love that defies every human explanation. It does not calculate. It does not measure. It does not wait for you to deserve it before it shows up. A mother's love simply is steady, persistent, quietly fierce in a way that the world rarely understands. And of all the mothers who have ever walked this earth, there is one whose love reaches beyond time, beyond space, beyond every wall you have ever built around your heart. Her name is Mary, and this morning she is interceding for you, not in the distant, abstract way we sometimes imagine sacred things, as if heaven were a faraway place populated by figures in stained glass, untouchable and cold. No, Mary's intercession is warm. It is personal. It carries the weight of someone who has known suffering firsthand, who has held grief in her own arms, who has stood at the foot of a cross and chosen faith over despair when everything inside her must have been screaming to give up. She knows what it means to carry something heavy and keep walking anyway, and she knows your name. Think for a moment about who Mary was before the world called her blessed. She was a young woman in a small town, living an ordinary life, carrying ordinary hopes. She had no title, no influence, no reason for history to remember her, and yet, in the quiet of an ordinary day, heaven broke through, and everything changed, not because she was perfect, not because she had it all figured out, but because she had something rarer than perfection. She had a willing heart. Behold, I am the handmaid of the Lord. May it be done to me according to your word. Those words have echoed through centuries for a reason. They are not just an act of obedience, they are an act of extraordinary courage. Mary did not know exactly what was coming. She did not have a detailed map of the journey ahead. She could not see the manger in Bethlehem, or the flight into Egypt, or the long years of quiet in Nazareth, or the agony of Calvary. She saw none of it. She only saw the moment in front of her, and in that moment, she chose to trust. That is the invitation she extends to you today, not to have all the answers, not to see the whole road, not to understand every twist and every detour that your life has taken, just to trust the one who does, just to say, with whatever trembling faith you have left, I do not understand everything, but I trust you, because here is what Mary knows, what she has always known, and what she whispers into the prayers of every soul who calls on her name. God has never once been late. He has never once abandoned someone who chose to believe. He has never looked at a broken, weary, overwhelmed heart and said, this one is too far gone. Never, not once, not ever. She watched her son die. She stood there. She did not run. And 3 days later, she understood something that changed the meaning of every painful moment she had ever lived through. Nothing God allows is wasted. Not the tears, not the waiting, not the silence that felt like absence, not the nights that had no morning in sight. None of it was wasted. All of it was being woven, carefully, intentionally, lovingly, into something she could not yet see. Your pain is not wasted either. Whatever brought you to this moment, whatever weight you carried into this morning, whatever wound is still fresh, whatever dream feels too broken to survive, Our Lady sees it, and she is not looking at it with pity. She is looking at it with the eyes of a woman who has been to the deepest place of loss and come out the other side holding something unshakable. She is looking at it with hope. Right now, as you read these words, she is placing your name before the throne of God, not a generic, distant prayer, but a specific, tender, motherly intercession that says, this one needs you today. This one is tired. This one is trying. This one is ready, even if they don't fully know it yet. And God hears her. He has always heard her. So let yourself be prayed for this morning. Let yourself receive what you so often give to others, but rarely allow to reach you. Let the intercession of Our Lady land on the deepest, most untouched part of your soul, the part that stopped asking because it was tired of waiting, the part that went quiet because it did not want to be disappointed again. Let it be reached. You do not have to have the perfect words. You do not have to show up to this moment polished and composed. You can come exactly as you are, messy, uncertain, half asleep, full of questions, and it will be enough. It has always been enough, because what heaven responds to is not performance. It is honesty. It is the raw, unfiltered cry of a heart that still believes, even when believing is hard. Close your eyes for just a moment. Feel the quiet around you. Feel your own breathing, steady, rhythmic, a gift you receive thousands of times a day without ever thinking about it. That breath is not accidental. Every single one was counted before you were born. You are here because you are meant to be here. You are breathing because there is still purpose in your lungs. And Our Lady, gentle and unwavering, stands beside you in this moment. She does not need you to be strong right now. She only needs you to be present, to open the hand you have been keeping clenched so tightly, the hand that has been holding on to fear, to control, to the illusion that you can carry all of this alone, and let her place it in the hands of her Son. That is all. Just open your hand. Good morning, Our Lady. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for standing before God and whispering my name, even on the days I forgot to whisper yours. The surrender that sets you free. There is a word that the world has taught us to fear: surrender. We were raised to fight, to push, to persist, to never give up, to keep going no matter what. And there is beauty in resilience, real, genuine beauty. But somewhere along the way, a lie slipped in quietly and made itself at home in our hearts. The lie that says strength means never letting go. The lie that says needing help is weakness. The lie that says if you stop controlling, everything will fall apart. That lie has exhausted you. You can feel it, can't you? The tiredness that is not just physical, the kind that sleep does not fix, the kind that comes from carrying things that were never yours to carry alone, the kind that builds up slowly, invisibly, until one ordinary morning you wake up and realize you have been running on empty for longer than you can remember. That is not strength, that is survival, and God did not create you merely to survive. Surrender, in the language of faith, is not defeat. It is not weakness. It is not giving up on life or on yourself. Surrender is the most courageous act a human soul can perform because it requires something far more difficult than fighting. It requires trust. It requires the radical, countercultural, almost irrational decision to believe that someone greater than you is in control and that his hands are safer than yours. It requires letting go. Jeremiah 1:5 was written for this moment. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Read that again, slowly, like you mean it. Before you were formed, before you drew your first breath, before you made your first mistake, or achieved your first success, or felt your first heartbreak, before any of it, He knew you, He chose you, He set you apart. That means your life is not a series of random events stumbling toward an uncertain end. It means there is a thread, invisible but unbreakable, running through every chapter of your story, through the seasons that made sense and the ones that didn't, through the doors that opened and the ones that slammed shut in your face, through the relationships that healed you and the ones that broke you, through the prayers that were answered quickly and the ones that still seem to be suspended somewhere between your lips and heaven. All of it, every single piece, held in hands that knew your name before the world did. So what does it look like to surrender today? It does not look like passivity. It does not mean sitting down and doing nothing, waiting for life to happen to you. Surrender is active. It is intentional. It is a daily, sometimes hourly, decision to release what you cannot control and trust what you cannot yet see. It looks like waking up and saying, "Today is yours, Lord, not mine to manage, but mine to live with you." It looks like releasing that worry you have been turning over in your mind for weeks, the one that visits you first thing in the morning and last thing at night, and placing it deliberately and consciously at the feet of the one who holds tomorrow. It looks like forgiving yourself for not being further along, for not having it together yet, for still struggling with the same things you promised yourself you would have overcome by now. Surrender includes the grace to look at your own brokenness without contempt, to see it the way God sees it, not as evidence of failure, but as the very place where His strength is made perfect. It looks like trusting Our Lady to guide what your own hands cannot reach. Because there are places in your heart that prayer touches before understanding does. There are healings that begin in the spirit long before the mind can process them. There are things God is doing right now, in this very moment, as you breathe and read, and perhaps feel something shifting quietly inside you that you will only recognize later when you look back and finally see the shape of His hand in what felt like chaos. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not too broken, too late, too far gone. You are exactly where you need to be, in the hands of a God who chose you before you were born, guided by a mother who intercedes for you without ceasing, on the edge of a surrender that is about to change everything. Not because life will suddenly become easy, not because the problems will vanish or the questions will all be answered, but because something inside you will shift, something fundamental, something that cannot be undone. When you truly surrender, you stop fighting the river and start flowing with it. And the river, you discover, was always moving towards something good. Let go of the weight you were never meant to carry alone. Let go of the version of yourself you think you need to be in order to be loved. Let go of the fear that if you stop holding everything together, it will all collapse. It will not collapse. It will be caught by hands far stronger, far wiser, far more loving than yours. This is your morning. This is your moment. This is the day you stop surviving and start living fully, freely, surrendered, and unafraid. Open your hands, lift them if you can, and say it out loud in a whisper or just in the quiet of your own heart. Say it like you mean it. Lord, I surrender. I trust you with my life, my fears, my future, and my name. You chose me before I knew how to choose you. You loved me before I knew how to love myself. And today, I choose you back, completely, willingly, without reservation. Good morning, Our Lady. Walk with me today. Amen. You were always His. Before this day unfolds, before the noise returns and the world pulls at you from every direction, before the weight of everything you carry tries to settle back onto your shoulders, remember this: you were known before you were formed. You were chosen before you were born. You were loved before you ever had to earn it. That is not a beautiful sentiment. That is the foundation of your life. Jeremiah did not become a prophet because he was the most qualified. He became one because God called him, and calling is always greater than qualification. The same is true for you. You do not need to be the most together, the most faithful, the most eloquent version of yourself for God to use your life in extraordinary ways. You only need to be available. You only need to be willing. You only need to say, one more time, on this ordinary morning, here I am. Our Lady said yes in a moment of uncertainty, and heaven was forever changed. Your yes, quiet, imperfect, trembling as it may be, carries that same power. So carry it with you today, into the commute and the meetings and the meals and the conversations, into the hard moments and the tender ones, into everything that is still unresolved and everything that is just beginning. Carry the knowledge that you are not wandering through life unaccompanied, that every step you take is witnessed, every tear you shed is collected, every prayer you whisper is heard. You are not alone. You were never alone. God chose you. Our Lady walks beside you, and today, this exact, unrepeatable, sacred today, is a gift wrapped in the particular shape of your name. Receive it, surrender to it, and live it fully, freely, and without fear. Amen. Strengthen your prayers because many good things are about to come your way. Leave in the comments which city you are praying from, and your name and your family's name, so we can pray together. Subscribe to the channel so we can continue together in this powerful chain of faith and protection.